You're listening to the Online Entrepreneur Experience with Jarrett Jenny and John Olson, aka Cheer.
Welcome to the new episode. That's Jarrett Jenny, SWR. I'm John Olson, aka Cheers. What do we got going on today, brother?
Hey, so, as we dive into some of this stuff, we talk about your mindset, and that's really where it all starts. And for some people that have never looked into it before, I can see where it's hard to, believe it and have it be convincing. And there's a lot of information to cover. And I heard this from a client probably 2 weeks ago now. And they said, "Oh, I kind of think that's a bunch of hocus pocus." And I'm like, your mindset's hocus pocus. So it just got me thinking. And I was like, you like sports, you like music. Most people like both those things. Find an athlete that doesn't pump themselves up for a game. Find a person who doesn't try to stimulate their mood with music, right? Those two things are probably the biggest universal ways that you attack your mindset. And if a song can pull you out of a dark place or get you pumped up, or an athlete can manifest performing well in a game or in a match by telling themselves they're the best. Rose Namajunas, if you don't know who she is, look her up. UFC women's champion. And she literally beat the reigning champion. And before the fight started, she's sitting in her corner of the octagon going, "I'm the best. I'm the best. I'm the best." And she said it like 100 times. And everyone's like, she's crazy. And I'm like, no, she's got self-belief.
That's just it.
Yeah, if you think that mindset and training your mind is a joke, think of athletes and think of music.
Well, that's just it. That's huge, man. You like believing in yourself is one thing. Pumping yourself up is another. Well, when you combine those two things, you're unstoppable. Like me, every morning that I wake up, I jump right into "I Am." You ever heard that song or not?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. It's on YouTube.
Yeah.
I am powerful. I am this. I am that. Well, "I am" are the most two powerful words in the entire world. And they can either make you or break you.
Absolutely.
So I absolutely understand what you're talking about. So it's massive.
Yeah. I mean, you think, I don't have the book with me right now, but I was reading Think and Grow Rich this morning, Napoleon Hill, and it's talking about, having faith and how you can train your mind to have faith if you don't already have it. And they use an example of a criminal, right? A criminal isn't a criminal like right when they're born. They have to take action. They have to do something. And a lot of times, as unfortunate as it is, what happens is they're around crime and they see it and they're surrounded by it all the time. So eventually they just accept it. It's like people who are pathological liars, right? They tell themselves a lie so many times that eventually they recognize it as truth. They believe that it's true. Well, if your mind can work in those negative ways, you can do the exact same thing with positive thinking. It's one of my favorite quotes. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And so if you're forcing thoughts of positivity and "I can do this" and affirmations like that into your brain, whether it be just your thoughts alone or the music you're listening to or the material you decide to, indulge in on a daily basis, that's going to change everything about your life.
Absolutely. And I just brought the book up.
There you go.
It's always here. Think and Grow Rich. So what he was just saying, what you were just saying was, your habits become your reality. So when you train yourself to actually have habits that actually benefit your life, you are going to have an extraordinary life. And It's not that hard to do. It only takes 30 days.
No.
In my eyes.
Yeah.
People use the 21-90 rule. I don't.
Yeah.
I use the 30-day 120 rule because I hate working out. I used to. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But after 30 days, it becomes a habit. And then all of a sudden you start living for it. So that's huge in itself. And people that, do negative things to themselves all the time, after a certain amount of time, becomes a habit and it just keeps compiling. So I don't know, man.
And without getting too advanced and too deep into it, because some of this stuff, we're meant to bring it to you, but it'll be more powerful if you look into it yourself. But anyway, you get back what you put out there, right? If you're negative all the time, and I know people like this, they're negative all the time and they're always like, I'm doomed. My life sucks. Why do I have such bad luck? I'm like, it's not bad luck at all. If you are super negative, that is all you're going to see. Example, my friend's car got stolen like 4 or 5 days ago, and it's a Ford Escape, right? Well, because it got stolen, that's in my brain. You know how many Ford Escapes I've seen in the last half a week? Like, I just notice them all the time because it's in my brain. Negative thoughts are the exact same way, and negative actions. It's going to affect you. If you let that in your head and it stews in there, that's all you're going to see in the world.
Absolutely. It's just like anything. If you're focusing on it, it's going to show up.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't buy one, but I was going to buy a Mercedes C-Class, brand new.
Yeah.
And I did not. But ever since then, I've been seeing them everywhere. So that's a sign out of the universe that maybe I should buy one just to get it off my mind. I can buy it and resell it in a year, but yeah, it's huge.
And I think the biggest hurdle, and back to the hocus pocus, whatever, when people kind of refuse to see that this stuff is true, I don't mean that if you're positive, all of a sudden $1 million is just going to poof out of thin air. That's not how it works. I'm saying that if you're positive, eventually your brain's going to get trained to that, and it's going to be way easier for you to be productive. It's going to be way easier for you to be successful, and you'll watch all these doors open for yourself because you allow yourself to be happy and successful. Try to get something done with a complete shit attitude. It does not work that way. But if you can keep a positive attitude and you're consistent and you have faith that it will work out, you're going to find a way to make it work out. And it's just going to be absolutely wild.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll spin off of that.
Yeah.
The only way to actually make things happen in your life that you are seeing is taking action.
Yeah.
But you have to do it with a positive mental attitude. This is going to work. This is, you can't just sit there and, like I said before on a couple podcasts ago, you can't just sit there and go kumbaya.
Yeah.
It's not going to land in your lap ever. It's giving you the opportunity to actually think outside the box, and what do I want to say? The easiest way to your path will be revealed through other people. Like myself, Mark Wilson, one of our mentors, he sent me a voice note that was just huge. He's like, all right, you want to do this podcast? You want to do this? You want to do that? And the night before, I was actually thinking, like, how can I make more money?
Yeah.
Well, that's how that works.
Yeah.
It comes through other sources. It's not just going to go poof.
Well, yeah. And I remember that day because you and me were talking about doing this. And then the next day you're like, holy crap, Mark just messaged me and he wants to do a podcast. I'm like, that's a coincidence. That's awesome. But you're right. It comes from being open-minded and being, receptive to different ideas and opportunities.
Heck yeah, man.
I like that. Life is what you make it. And if you go through life with a crap attitude, of course you're going to get crap. It's just what it is. And I think next week I want to spin off of struggle and creating your own struggle, because that's a whole Joe Rogan experience. And I've taken some notes. I've learned a lot from that. So I'd like to dive into that next week, but I think this was killer.
Absolutely, man. I loved it.
Yeah. You got us?
Oh, yeah, always. That's Jarrett Jenny, aka SWR. I'm John Olson, aka Cheers. As always, you guys have blessed lives.
All right, man. We'll talk to you soon.
Absolutely.
Peace.
Thanks for tuning into the Online Entrepreneur Experience. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any episodes that we're releasing and any of these amazing pieces of value that we're giving out. And if you could take the time out of your day and leave us a review, we would be so grateful. We look forward to seeing you on that next episode.